Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to I Allegedly. I've got a good one for you today. The EIDL program has turned out to be a complete fraud festival, and we're going to go through some of the great stories with this. And we also have a new ally in the fight to get us all what we're entitled to through the EIDL program, since the SBA has completely let us all down. First things first, you know the rules. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you get all the notifications of everything that we produce. Also, share this with your friends and colleagues. Let's get into it. The EIDL program, when it came out in March, was designed to get us money quickly. They were going to give us loans and give us loan advances within 3 business days. And we all know that that didn't happen. The SBA finally got called in front of the Senate subcommittee and had to answer the tough questions. Once they did that, that's when you started to see loan approvals go up through the roof and they could get this program pulled from them. So all of a sudden they started to perform like my 15-year-old son, okay? Knowing that I'm about to come home from work. So first things first, there was an apartment building in Chicago that they had so many applications for farming where people said that they had 10 employees or more and they were farming in a skyscraper, and it was ripe with fraud. So needless to say, it's not a place that you would ever have farming, but they had massive amounts of applications from this one location. The SBA also was inundated with calls from people that they actually had to flag the phone calls. If anything came from Chicago, they absolutely pulled the application to make sure that it wasn't fraudulent and part of this scam that was going on. They had so many suspicious requests that all these people wanted was, they didn't care about the loan, they just cared about getting the advance because they had heard about easy money. There are so many people out there that are filling out applications for people and telling them that they can get these applications for a percentage of the sale. And it's absolute fraud, okay? The basic questions about these people's businesses would make it so that they weren't a business. They were just there to scam the SBA out of money. The SBA stopped the grant program last week, and they can still get funded through the EIDL loan program if you have an existing application in there. But again, I have a real good feeling that this is about to change very quickly because of all the problems that the SBA has had. Now, the EIDL program originated from the old FEMA loan program. The SBA has, in the last few weeks, given out interviews where they basically invented fire when they came up with the EIDL program, and they pulled this out of thin air, which is preposterous, okay? The loan program's been around for 50 plus years, whatever it's been, and they didn't invent this. They just were incompetent at handling it. There were a total of 6 million small businesses that were given these loans. There were $20 billion in advances given out, and they employed 30.5 million workers is what they're bragging about. The problem with it was when the EIDL program was set up, we all know for the first 1 million applications, they were supposed to get $10,000 as an advance. That did not happen. Now, the cool thing that's about to be announced is this. Now, there's an effort in Congress right now that's about to be announced to get us the original $10,000 advance. This is done through Senators Brian Schatz from Hawaii, a Democrat, and also Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat from Nevada, have introduced the new Small Business Disaster Loan Enhancement Act of 2020. This would get us the original $10,000 per business applicant, and it would give $25,000 to businesses that were completely decimated as a result of the shenanigans. Now let's get back into some of the fraud shenanigans that people tried to pull. In Manhattan, there was a guy named Muj Ma, who was a Chinese national, who he got arrested for seeking $20 million in fake PPP and EIDL loans and advances and all that stuff. Ma's not a U.S. citizen, and my favorite thing was when he got arrested, he got in front of the judge, and the judge says, are you an American citizen? No, not yet. Okay, so Ma lives in a condo, brand new in Manhattan, off your money, and he defrauded 5 banks for $20 million under the PPP loan. said he had hundreds of employees for his New York International Capital LLC and also Hurley Human Resources LLC. Had hundreds of employees and paid millions of dollars in wages. The only problem with it was that he's the only employee for the whole company. So this cat lied to everybody. He got $10,000 advances for one of his companies. He got a $500,000 EIDL loan for the second, and they seized both of those. I'm sure he spent quite a bit of it by the time they caught up with him. And again, the only employee. Now, here's where the trouble is going to come out to a lot of people, and that is this, and that is if you lied on your application and you said, oh, we got 27 people that work here, and you don't have 1099s to match that or W-2s to match that, you have trouble coming. It is a slow burning fuse that is going to destroy your business and your life if you've lied to these people, because the one thing is that these people have been made fools of by a lot of these people that have done these loans, and what I tell you at the end is going to make it so that there's going to be trouble coming to a lot of these people. It's going to be beautiful. Former film executive, he got $1.7 million in loans, and he just used it for, unapproved expenses and paying his wife's credit cards. It's fantastic. In Massachusetts, a man was charged with fraud for falsified payroll documents. He only wanted to get $13 million, but he's going down, and he tried to defraud several different agencies. A Michigan man criminally charged for obtaining a $590,000 PPP loan on behalf of a purportedly defunct company. That's the one thing. Your company had to be in good standing and operation. In Virginia, a man was indicted for making false statements about his criminal history. Needless to say, he got a $190,000 EIDL loan. And remember, you can't get a loan, but this cat got a $190,000 loan. In Jersey, 2 men, $500,000 forgivable loans. Now, the one thing that the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, also said that giving the money back is not a blanket exemption from applicable laws, such as criminal statutes that penalize false statements. Several defendants tried unsuccessfully to withdraw their applications or return the money, only to be told that criminal investigations are coming their way. So, needless to say, if you're one of these people that did something, let's say you made a mistake and you lied about the number of people, or let's say you submitted multiple applications and you got an advance, I would start with my accountant first, and I would call my accountant and have him get a hold of this agency and plead with them for forgiveness and your stupidity before you are charged with a felony, which is what it sounds like these people are going to do. So, the House Small Business Committee, got James Rivera from the SBA involved, and they just lambasted this guy in July, earlier this month. And I love this, the SBA, we're doing the best we can. Have you ever heard anybody win or be successful at anything and say, we're doing the best we can? It's always when somebody lets you down that they say we're doing the best we can. You've never heard Tom Brady win a Super Bowl and go, we're just doing the best we can, man. That's it. No one's ever won the Indy 500 and just said, my team did the best we could. No, it's never like that. It's always when you fall short, you're doing the best you can, okay? The SBA, now think about this. This was what was staggering to me, and that was the SBA was staffed with 300 people when this all started. They were given $660 billion. They were given one of the largest government programs in the history of our country. And they had 300 people. Now, they got their call centers up to 1,000 people, and they actually added an extra 1,000 paralegals, which is ridiculous, okay? They were talking about how some of these people now have to juggle 50 calls a day. That's ridiculous. It's like, who would even say that out loud? Obviously, you guys need to work for a living because, I may make 50 calls from my house in a day, okay? Sure get hundreds of emails. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? Several people got loans but didn't get the grant, okay? And because these people were in such desperate spots, they took the loan without getting the grant. Oh yeah, well, you don't get that now. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. I know a guy that has a 515 FICO score, okay? He got a loan for $7,000 and a $1,000 grant. Now, if they give the $9,000 back to him that he was supposed to get with the grant, does he get the loan forgiven? No one knows the answers to that. The other thing is, there hasn't been a decision made on if the grants are taxable or not. And when I spoke to my accountant, when I originally applied for it in March, he said, plan on it being taxable, Dan. So I did, and that's what we planned on. Now, the other thing is California, Texas, New York, some of these states have already said that they're going to have state taxes on the grants and the PPP loans. Now, if somebody borrowed, let's just say $250,000, and they think they're going to get it for scot-free, like they won the PPP lottery, they got to pay taxes on that, especially in the state, which is what, here it's what, 14% or something fun like that. Ever since I started this channel, the one thing that I've really admired was people's honesty with me. When they write me and they reach out on Facebook, the emails, there's a lot of people out there that have really been affected by this whole situation, whether they could get the loan, couldn't get enough money, couldn't get the loan, were told that they didn't suffer an economic injury, and they're literally going out of business. But I have really been upset with Congress and with the senators and the way they've handled this. I really have become a fan of Senator Cardin and Senator Rubio as a result of this, because I really truly believe that they want our best interests at heart. And in Southern California, there is a local representative, my representative, Katie Porter, who is a Democrat out of Irvine, California, who completely came out of nowhere yesterday and issued a statement that she wants Jovita Carranza to resign from the SBA because of her incompetence. So I'm going to play a short little video for you, and I'll come back after it, but enjoy.
You've also tweeted that you want the current administrator of the SBA, Jovita Carranza, to resign. Why?
Yeah, the report from the GAO about the administrator and what she has refused to do upon GAO's repeated requests with regard to transparency shows me that she is unfit to continue in that role. The PPP program, that's $650 billion, this is one of the biggest government programs in our country's history, and she is fighting with the nonpartisan GAO on basic data that lets them do their job of transparency and accountability. That is the wrong mindset for somebody whose title is administrator.
Wasn't that fantastic? That is a person that, first of all, I would not want saying that about me. Representative Porter was a law professor at a university here in Southern California, and she's a lawyer, and before she ran for office, she worked for a university that has one of the largest startup and incubator communities on the planet Earth, okay? It's so big. Literally, I have had days when I've been there 5 days a week. I've had days when I was there once 3 times in the same day, okay? This is so prominent, and the community is a very higher, it's an upper scale university. The community that she lives in is upper scale. But this has been, this whole pandemic shenanigans have affected everything to, in her own city, you're seeing for lease signs. You're seeing people go out of business that you haven't seen in the past. This is the area that when they have homeless people, they'll stop them and say, what are you doing here? Get out of here, okay? It's up there. But it has been dramatically affected by all this. And what she's hearing, and when I called her office today, she's back in session. I spoke to a staff member, but they're getting inundated with calls of people that have been decimated as a result of all this. Couldn't get results from the SBA, and this is the crusader that we want. This is the person that you wouldn't want to get angry. And now that she's angry and she's calling on this, heads are going to roll, okay? So I have full faith in Katie Porter that she's going to step up for all of us. You guys, she's the representative. I don't know what district I even live in. I don't know the number, but Katie Porter is somebody that is going to do a great job for all of us in getting, what we're entitled to, and having the SBA answer these tough questions that they should have answered a long time ago. First things first, the EIDL program never should have been left with the SBA. all this fraud. This is the beginning, guys. It's been so difficult. Everything I've researched has pointed to the fact that we cannot get answers from these people. We cannot get the numbers. We cannot get actual loan amounts that these people have lent. Now, you can talk about privacy and all that stuff, but it's ridiculous that they've kept all this money for themselves to keep themselves going and have not lent us the money that they should have. Heads are going to roll, I think, on this, and you're going to see some results in the coming weeks. You know, I don't care who you voted for. It's an election year. Both sides want to win, but hopefully we're going to be the winners when it's all said and done, okay? So look up Katie Porter, and hopefully if I get anything new from her staff said that they would reach out, and I will update you guys if I get anything. Good luck to everybody. Do not give up, okay? Good luck. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share this with your friends and colleagues, and I will see you guys very soon, okay? Good luck.